So this is going to be going into day two, which is going to be talking about scalable client delivery. This is going to be going through how you can, in your practice and in your coaching business, move beyond one-on-one and transition into whether it's group, self-paced programs, or even other offerings without sacrificing results or your client experience. That's the number one thing that a lot of coaches tend to have concern for, which is and it's actually interesting because I got two people messaging me with interest for it, but they were also concerned in joining the series because they said, well, my belief is that people see the best results working one-on-one. And we've actually done a lot of work to position our offer or our process to make sure that we're exclusively working for one-on-one people. So when they joined and they registered for the series, they're like, I'm not sure how this is going to work for my current model. And it's like, I understand that 100%. But the results that you can give a client and who you are as a coach are two separate entities. And I want you guys to understand, especially through this process, you don't have to choose between results and reaching more people and building your business. You can actually have both, but that means that you're going to have to change the way that you do your client delivery. So going right into this, I want to start and open up and talk about the fear that we all have. There is this subconscious fear as practitioners and health professionals that if we remove ourselves from the sessions, that for some reason our clients won't succeed because a lot of the times working one-on-one and being the direct result provider is directly attached to our purpose. We got into this industry because we most likely had a health issue or we had a passion for health. We worked with someone and then we saw the benefits in that transformation. We got a lot of value from that person. And so then we stepped into these industries. And then stepping into the industry, you're like, wow, my purpose is directly attached to helping people. So as you start to go through and start transitioning yourself out from one-on-one care, you're going to have the fear, which is, oh, if I remove myself, are my clients going to be able to succeed without me? And this actually comes from three areas, which is really important that we go through. And the first one is like you secretly enjoy that clients only work with you. What built your business the first time, what built all these connections, all these amazing client friendships, you really love that. You love the practitioner role. You love the coach inside you. You love being able to help people. And so when you start to take yourself out of that, you're like, well, I am not going to have this extra thing that I'm going to be able to take pride in, which is I am the go-to person inside of most of these people's worlds. There's another issue with this too, which is like currently you're the number one money maker in your business. So if you start removing yourself, does that also mean that maybe you're going to have to make less money before you start to make more money transitioning into something like group? And I think a big one that reinforces this fear is like you care about your client's results, but you also think results equals you in every session. That the only way that a client can succeed is if you're the one doing the manual adjustments, is if you're the one always walking them through the exercises. And even though you've probably told people the same exercises that they can do to multiple people back to back, like I said in yesterday's session, you still think that it has to be you every time to be able to show that. And I want you guys to know that this fear is a very illogical fear. It is something that actually, as you start to look into it, you recognize very quickly one-on-one is actually a bottleneck. And one-on-one becomes the bottleneck because you end up getting into this space where you max your calendar, but you don't max your impact. You're saying to yourself, my schedule is filled, but I want to help more people. And there's no possible way that you can do that. And I want you guys to all look at your calendars right now or think about your calendar for the past 2 weeks. Can you fit another 50 clients in there? 50, not 15. Can you fit another 200? The reality is you as a practitioner have so much value and you can transform so many people's lives. But if you're just focusing on changing one life at a time, you're actually limiting your impact as a professional, and that's actually going to impact your income. Now, there's two ways that being one-on-one or working one-on-one only develops kind of a bottleneck for your business. We'll start from the first, which is your business. It puts you in a very reactive state. The more clients you are working with one-on-one, the less time you have to do visionary work, to do promotion and marketing, to run nurture emails, to create content. And what happens is A lot of practitioners get in this cycle where they work to hustle and fill their calendar. Their calendar gets super busy. They slow down on the marketing, they slow down on the admin, they slow down on the nurture. Those clients will then fall off or they will end up finishing your care, and then you then have to become reactive again to work to fill those people. So you get stuck chasing clients and you get stuck in the delivery of current clients, which does not build your business forward. And let's of course now add on the personal. From a personal perspective, when your calendar gets to a point where you're over exceedingly full, there's actually no true vacation, because taking time off means that you have to stop the sessions, which means you have to make them up, or you have to maybe pause someone's monthly payment, or you can't take payment until you start actually doing your one-on-one again. This puts constant interruptions on your life. Every time you want to take a vacation, you feel guilty about doing so, or maybe you can't. Every time you have to take a day off because maybe you're sick, then you're like, holy crap, now I've got to make up all of these sessions, or I have to find a time to squeeze these clients in. And it just never works long term as you start scaling past 75 to 100 people. This is why one-on-one does not work long term. I'm not saying that it is not an effective way to build business. Everyone starts their business by building one-on-one 100%. But at this point, you're looking to scale past this. And this is where you need to know something very important. And I want you to write this down, keep it in your wallet, keep it in your purse, keep it on your desk. Results don't come from you being present. They come from structure and support. Think about your coaching, your business, your practice, your mentorship, not as just the 1 hour you are with somebody, but how they change the other 23 hours they are not with you. If you can design a system and a structure, create a community, and create an offer that supports them when they are not with you, that is what is going to give them the biggest and most long-lasting result, not just working one-on-one with you all the time. So here's what actually creates results beyond one-on-one. The first thing is structure. When you create a program that has a structure, this is a framework where clients always know the next step. I promise you, if you've worked with 10 people one-on-one, you have a framework that delivers results consistently. You do, but maybe the framework is in your head. Maybe it's actually not something on paper that someone can actually follow. This is effectively a strong curriculum. A strong curriculum, making sure that the same result is generated every single time consistently, makes group delivery or makes a self-paced course delivery possible. So as a great example of this, when I had a hormone reboot program, it was an 8-week program. I took 2,200 people through that program. It was a tried, true, and streamlined system that I knew exactly where everyone was going to be, plus or minus a week. At this point, they'd be information free. At the next point, they would have all of their digestive issues corrected. At this point, they would start to see weight loss. And I knew that because, again, I had done a system where I'd worked one-on-one with people, and I saw the same process happen every single time. So I packaged it. I made it in the easy and clear framework where it was a step-by-step process, and they were able to go self-led through that process and actually sustain their results long-term. Structure is about creating consistency without more of your time. So can we get a client to do the exercises for the rehabilitation without us? Can we get a client to strengthen the body so maybe when they do go for the adjustment or when they are working with you one-on-one, they see even more results with your one-on-one care? This is about creating a structure that helps both before they come to you, maybe during they're working with you, and also after they stop working with you one-on-one. But we need to create that system. Second piece is accountability. When we transition away from one-on-one, we lose the upfront conversations, which helps keep someone accountable. So we need regular touch points to keep them moving. And there's a lot of ways that we can do this. The first is progress checking and group check-ins. This is what creates momentum. You can use an app that can help create that progress and support. You can have group check-ins, which could be in the form of group coaching calls. You could have an instructor chat, which you could either do through your website or even something simple through Slack. But In the regular check-ins, it allows them to continue to build momentum because they know that someone is watching. Another piece that hires adds onto the accountability is peer support. Having a group replaces the constant one-on-one hand-holding. When I had a group and there were 20 to 30 people on every single call, and those people showed up every single week, other people, when they missed a call, others would reach out and say, "Hey, I didn't see you on last call. Are you coming to the next call?" There's a level of accountability in a community, and that's why providing a community is so important. And bottom line, clients, they'll stay engaged because they will never be alone. They won't be worried about, my next appointment with my practitioner or the next appointment with the coach is 3 days from now. What do I do today? Because they're actually going to be able to have a community and have a course code and have a strong curriculum that they can plug into to keep them supported through the process. Now, the last part is simplicity. Simplicity is for you. It's designing a step-by-step process where regardless of 20 or 550 or 500 clients join at one time, you can onboard them effectively, efficiently, and you won't miss a beat. The challenge with one-on-one is the process involves you through every step of the way. You're the one doing the consultation. You're the one doing the sales call if you guys do sales calls. You're the one doing the onboarding. You're also the one doing the delivery, and that takes up a lot of time. If all of a sudden I gave you 50 leads and you had to sign up 20 people tomorrow, could you fit all 20 people in? Most of you can't. And that's the difference between something that's going to be scalable and something that's not. Versus if you have a system that clients go through onboarding on their own, you can have a self-paced program that they can start at their own time and finish at their own time. You can upsell one-on-one support of those individual check-ins. It gives people the ability to be able to get more if they need, but then also be self-led human beings that are willing to follow the process. Bottom line is this creates less admin for you. It creates fewer touch points demanding your one-on-one time, and that's going to give you back your freedom to travel, to take vacations, to maybe build another program if you want inside of your business. Whatever it is, you have that freedom to do whatever you need. So let's talk about the 3 proven models that we can use to deliver at scale. There is tons of models that you can do. They're all called a bunch of different names, but they all fall under these 3 categories. The first one is Cohort. This is effectively live trainings where the times or the programs start at the same time. There's Evergreen, where you've got a program that runs effectively all year round, whenever people can jump in and out whenever they please. And then there is the hybrid program. The reason why I call these 3 proven models is because every single one of these models here that I will walk you through, it does not matter how many people you have in the model, it doesn't break. The problem with one-on-one is even if you continue to reduce your time in the sessions, like I know some physiotherapists that we work with that are doing 20-minute sessions at this point, and they still don't have enough time. So unless you increase your one-on-one cost, where we have naturopaths inside of our C2C program charging $510 an hour, which also is like, hey, is that realistic for your client? Unless you increase your cost or you shorten your time, the model of one-on-one breaks. Versus these 3 models here, it doesn't matter how many people you have. We have coaches inside of the program that have 100 people in an active membership running seamlessly. We have people who sign up 5 to 15 people a day. There's no issues. The system doesn't break. And that's because these models can take on an infinite amount of people. So going into the first one, this is the cohort model. This is basically a program where everyone starts and finishes together. You basically have live launch dates of when your program will start, when your program's going to run. Everyone is going to go through the same trainings at the same time, at the same pace. They will have the same group calls, and then they're basically running it through similar to a challenge. There's a lot of great benefits to moving like this because it creates a strong sense of community and group support. If you have something that's going to start, let's say 2 weeks from now, and you're running an 8-week program, everyone is going to be on the same page, asking the same questions, going through the same challenges, and seeing the same type of wins if you've got a really good structure and framework for your program. And the benefit to that is it's a lot easier for you to run live calls and it's a lot easier for you to formulate a group curriculum. You know what questions they're going to ask. You know where everyone is. You know what type of results to expect. You know that if people are having hiccups or if there's any fall off points, you know where that's going to be because you know that everyone should be on the same page. This is really great because when you run a model like this, you can take on a bunch of people at once and you're going to have high completion rates and you're going to have high transformation rates where people are going to go through, they're going to see great results, and then you can either upgrade them into maybe something like one-on-one, which we'll talk about the offer stack tomorrow, like how you upgrade or how you transition people into programs, or you can just get them into another offer, another program as well. There are downsides to this. The downside to having a fixed start date and a fixed end date is it limits sales flexibility. I actually see this as a benefit because I like creating a sense of urgency. So if you say to everyone, hey, we're starting on 2 weeks on the 15th, then people know if they miss the 15th, they're shit out of luck. That's basically means they're going to have to wait for the next program option. So this is really great because even though I label it as a downside, it's like, well, once you finish the marketing, it's like you just have to deliver the program. You can't really promote the program anymore. This is where the true downside kind of leads in, which is like new leads, they might need to wait for next round. So that means if they miss the boat, unless they're comfortable joining in the program a day or two late or a week or two late, it might not even be beneficial for them to do that. But the best part about a cohort model is you can run a specific program multiple times a year. So as an example, we have an naturopath inside of the CDC program now who runs a hormone reset program. And the hormone reset program, she runs 4 times a year. So effectively, it's every quarter she runs this program. It's a 6-week program. She promotes it for 3 to 4 weeks before it fills up. She just runs the program. She doesn't have to worry about marketing because the program's already filled and promoted. Then she just focuses on the delivery. And then anyone who upgrades into her group programs or one-on-one support, she goes for that and she does that. Another great example of this is like doing a live training. So as an example, the series that you guys have registered for right now is exactly like a live training. It's an a la carte. You can have a set price for it. You can do 3 or 4 trainings in a row. Maybe this is great for being able to create informational series or informational sessions, give people a lot of value up front, and then you can convert them into something else. The best part about Cohort is once you run the program live and you record it, you can package it, sell it as a self-paced program, and voila, you now have a program that you can sell forever. So you run it live the first time so people are in it, so you're getting the questions, you're getting the feedback, you're getting the energy of working with those people, and then you record it, you package it, and you can sell it as a self-paced program at a more affordable rate later on. That way, it doesn't matter if someone is reaching out 6 months from now or 8 months from now, you have another option outside of offering your one-on-one sessions. Next one is the Evergreen model. I'm a big believer that every single practitioner and coach should have an offer or a model that people can join in at every time. It's hard to do that with one-on-one because when you have filled time slots, you might say, well, I don't have a next opening until like next month. Or like, I can't take you in until 2 weeks from now. And people get frustrated with that and they end up going to another practitioner versus having an evergreen model. This is rolling intake where clients can join anytime. So a great example of this, I had a program called the Vantage program that I'll be showing you guys as a part of the offer stack tomorrow. That was a 14-week program, but we had group coaching calls every single week. It does not matter whether your onboarding was this week or next week or the week following. Guess what? You were still a part of the same program. The group calls allowed the ability for you to ask whatever questions. And the curriculum was designed not to be linear. So it doesn't matter where you are in your journey, everyone's working on different things, but they're working towards the same goals. The benefits of this is that it allows consistent enrollment and reoccurring sales. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I'm already running the program, I can't promote something else. You can have them join this all year round, and therefore you can make money all year round, not trading your one-on-one time. Another great benefits of this is you have constant sales flow. So no start or stop cycles. People are just signing up all the time. There's no wait list for this. Clients get to hop in immediately. So you're already working with high people who are highly motivated. And then it works really well with automation. Because if someone is in a program that they can join in at any time, it doesn't really matter when you run the trainings or when you're delivering to the clients. You could say to yourself, every Friday, I'm going to take an hour to just pre-record the next training, and then it's in there and it works very well. Now, there is two downsides for this, and these are very, very big downsides. The downside to the Evergreen model, especially with volume, so when you're having 20 people sign up a week, 15 people in onboarding at one time, onboarding has to be rock solid. If it's not rock solid and it's too vague, then what happens is people start to fall off. They're not clear about the next step. You get an abundance of questions. Where do I go for this? I didn't get my login here. And when there's confusion, people hesitate and then they fall off your program. So you do have to have a really solid onboarding for this. Now, outside of the onboarding, there's less of a we're all in this together feel because people are starting at different stages of the journey. Because it's a program that's not linear, you have to be okay with someone coming in and saying, hey, this is my first call. I'm completely new. I have no idea what I'm doing. And then you're also going to have veterans on the call who are like, yep, the same problem that he just shared was something that I experienced 3 months ago, and I'm well beyond that. The key to that is to make sure that the communication in between and that the group calls or the way that you've designed the curriculum is supportive of everyone in any time. So that way, even if someone is hopping on a group call, or even if someone is watching your curriculum later on, they're getting value from it at whatever stage works for them. So a couple of great examples of this. We have a nutritionist that has inside of her program Stop the Sugar Cravings in 30 days. So we implemented this for her because she was saying, I had a lot of people inside of the consults that are kind of hesitating to commit to longer term programs. She wants them to stay for 6 months, stay for 8 months right out the gate. And there was a lot of resistance up front. So what she has as an ongoing program is Stop Cravings, because cravings is a big thing for a lot of her people, is Stop Sugar Cravings in 30 days. So people can sign up every single month and be a part of the same call that other people joined 2 or 3 weeks ago. So she always has people joining this, and this gives her the opportunity and the ability to then upsell into the other program, or for these people to get value to then actually prep themselves to work with her. Because that's another thing as well too. The best thing about these programs or running self-paced or group programs is maybe you're finding that your one-on-one clients need a lot of prep work before they work with you. You're sending them to other professionals before they come here, or you're telling them to do some work themselves before they come and work with you. That sucks because that means they're not working with you. They're going somewhere else to do something. Versus if you create a program that prepares them properly, you can already have them invested, paying, and staying in your world. And then if you want to take them on one-on-one, you can totally do that. And a great example of that is one of the physiotherapists that we've worked with, which has an on-demand rehab program. So effectively, he was finding that he was spending a lot of time doing emergency adjustments. And he was like, man, people could just have a strengthening protocol. And then I wouldn't have to see them in such urgent care. And I could actually focus on the long-term care, which is actually needed for these people. So we packaged a program together. And now people go through the rehabilitation program before seeing him, which means, again, they spend longer with him. And at the same time, it's freeing up his one-on-one time for the people who actually need it, not for people who are just doing emergency care because they're not doing the right work. Now, final model is the hybrid model. This is a blend of group and one-on-one support. There are going to be people inside of your world who value your one-on-one time. So, like a great example for this is like a lot of the coaches we work with inside of C2C, they want to be able to message me immediately and know that I'm going to give them a response because they've got an emergency moment or they're saying to themselves, okay, what do I do in this situation? Hybrid is really, really great for this. You can offer one-on-one as an upsell or as an additional add-on, but still create a group structure. So you're going to get the energy of groups, but you're also going to get the depth of personalized coaching. So benefits, best of both worlds, and it's also higher retention and client lifetime value. When a client has access to you individually alongside a group, as long as you're limiting the access, and it could even be something like a 15-minute check-in one time a month, it will significantly reduce the one-on-one time you spend with someone, but they still get more connection to you as a person, which will help with retention rates. It also gives you the ability from a retention perspective to upsell or to recommend additional services and care. So once they finish the program in a group, you can have those individual conversations and you can keep them staying in your world longer. And it supports both new and advanced clients. So if someone is brand new, the one-on-one support might be great to get them started when they need it. If someone is super advanced and they're in the group and they're like, okay, we're going over a lot of fundamentals, maybe where they get the advanced support is the one-on-one add-on where they are getting a little bit more of your time. Now, when you have this blend of group and one-on-one, there's a lot more moving parts to manage, and you definitely have to be aware of not giving away too much of your time. This is why we have to heavily rely on the group. We have to heavily rely on the accountability and your program structure, your curriculum, your course code, the self-paced modules that you give to them with this. It has to be something that's really, really solid. So there's less moving parts to manage for you. And the other downside is it can still feel time heavy if it's not designed well. So you could do it with basically like group sessions where maybe you get one private call per month, like most of our clients do. Or maybe the individual part for the support is everyone gets a one-on-one assessment and then it goes into a group only support afterwards. In going through these models, and I'm sure this was like drinking out of a fire hose for a second. There's a lot of stuff that's there. In going through all of these models, you're probably going to say, well, Andrew, which one is the right one for me? Which one do I implement inside of my business and what's going to take me to the next level? Here's what I'm going to tell you. There's actually no right or wrong model. As a matter of fact, you can have all three of these models if you want. Inside of both our Fit for All Fitness company and inside of Coach to Coach, we have access to all three. We have self-paced programs that were available for people who were self-led that were like, hey, I just want to be able to have the blueprint so I can follow it on my own and continue. Amazing. You can do that. You've already packaged like any type of recommendation or advice that you've given to 5 or more people, you can package into a self-paced course and sell that in perpetuity forever. Amazing. Maybe you want to do just a group model and you're like, hey, look, I'm finding that my one-on-one is super, super tight right now. I can't accommodate any more people, but I want to generate more income. Simple. If you see that a lot of people are struggling with the same challenge, you can create a group out of that and have them focus on just one area. Or you could do the hybrid. The big reason why I say there's no right or wrong, it's because it is dependent on your business. If you're filled with your one-on-one spots, you need to free up your one-on-one time. Doing something like a group or transitioning those one-on-one people into a group atmosphere is going to be more beneficial. If you're someone who's like, hey, my group and my one-on-one is fine right now, but I want to make additional income and I actually don't want to put any time into this. I don't want to be having conversations with people. I just want people to go through it on your own. Well, then a self-paced option, a cohort program is going to be something that's going to be very beneficial for you. All of these things are dependent on the lifestyle that you want to live. So ask yourself, what do I want for myself? One of the first things we do inside of the C2C program with our coaches is we say, what is the life that you want to live outside of your business? Forget the amount of money you want to make in your business, how many clients you want to serve. That's very easy. That's just numbers. Okay, this is how many leads. This is the conversions. This is how many signups. That's simple. What do you want outside of your business? Do you want to travel twice a year? Can you do that with your existing business model? Do you want to be able to not work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the rest of your life and you just want long weekends every single weekend? Well, does it work with your existing client base? Do you have too many one-on-one clients to make that work? Is your business something you can travel with? And that's another thing. If you want to travel or if you want to be able to have days off, do you have to make up a bunch of sessions? Or is it just something as simple as like, I move one group coaching call and that solves all of my issues instead of moving 15 clients? So it is all completely dependent on the style of business that you want to run. And going into this, I want to share with you kind of for me, the biggest one for me, which was my first cohort offer. We had a studio in Oakville, Ontario, because some of you guys are American who are going to be watching the replay and stuff. I had a physical studio and I was hard capped at 110 clients. No matter what I could do, I could not fit in any more people inside of my schedule. We had other coaches that were on our team. Everyone was super jammed. And every single day I kept looking at my calendar, and all the green and yellow in that freaking calendar there is clients. It was all clients that I had every single day. And it became very difficult for me to build my business when I only had 2 to 3 hours a day to work on the things that was going to take me forward. So I made a decision in that moment to put on my first cohort offer, to be able to bring everyone into one program, started at the same time, and I condensed 25 weekly one-on-one sessions into a 10K a month hybrid offer. The craziest part about this was it took me only 6 hours a week to be able to deliver this. We had 2 group coaching calls where you see there on the right-hand side where everyone hopped on and we did all the sessions at the same time and the assessments at the same time. We had 2 group coaching calls a week, which each of them were 45 minutes. And then the rest was the client communication via our app, the client delivery and adjustments and tweaking of plans, and that was it. I didn't need to hire anyone else. I didn't need to expand my team. I didn't need to take on this huge marketing budget. And I was like, holy cow, I just condensed 25 hours into 6 hours just running the cohort offer. This is the power of transitioning away from one-on-one. And here's the best part. People still saw results. People still followed their nutrition. They still did all of the rehabilitation exercise. They still lost the weight. Nothing changed transitioning them from one-on-one to group. And the best part about it is not only did they see the results, but they also built community and friendships outside of working with me. So if anything, they got better results because they also got friends than they did working on their own one-on-one with me. Plus, I got my time back. So at this point, I want to walk you through how we start your first cohort program, your first group program, because it's easy to talk about these models, but we're like, how in fact do I actually make this transition? How do I do this? The first step of making this transition is transitioning your current one-on-one clients. The easiest way that you can do this, and I always tell people, this is about inviting them into more support, not less. So when you're working with people who have worked with you for a year or two, we're not saying, hey, my time is too busy. I can no longer take any more one-on-one people. I need to start working with you less. That's not the way to approach it because that positions any of these offers or any of these models as something that's lower or less than. Instead, we position the group or the self-paced offer as more resources, more community, or the same or better results with less dependency. This is where you have to go to your one-on-one clients and say, hey, you've been working with me for a year. You've been working with me for 3 months. You know the foundations. And at this point, this is about creating realistic sustainability for you where you're not dependent on coming to me all the time. Because ideally, you want to be able to take back this time as well. This is about taking back their time as well. This is about not having as many adjustments. This is about not having to be on the diet long term. This is about long-term solution because now we're past the temporary fix of one-on-one. So we position it as more resources, more community, I believe that you are a good fit to be with these people who are all working towards the same thing. And you're going to get better results like this because there's going to be accountability because you're going to actually get more of my time. Instead of the one session every 3 weeks, because that's when I can fit you in, we're actually going to be able to see each other more. You're just seeing us from a group setting. And there's three approaches that you can use for this. And I really want you guys to write these down because these are game changer. The first one is the founding member invite. Hey, I'm starting up a group. Be one of the first ones to experience this. I'm so fired up about this group. It's going to give you more resources. You're going to get a community with this. You're going to get better results. And on top of that, be the first to experience this. The founding member invite is about giving them an exclusive rate for being one of the first people for joining this. And a lot of people want to be the first because a lot of people like being exclusive. The second approach that you can use is the value add positioning. This is where, like I said, it's all about the positioning. Hey, we've worked one-on-one. We've done all of this work together for a really long time. This is the next natural step in your journey. At this point, we're looking at long-term sustainability. At this point, we're looking at transitioning you off the diet, transitioning you off of the individual adjustments, where now we can start working on the muscle strength and conditioning, the rehabilitation work. Any single one of you guys has different things that they can do to either maintain the results or to prep for the next stage of their journey. So we position it as the value add. You're going to get a community with people working towards the same thing that are going to be able to keep you more accountable than seeing me one-on-one on my own. And then the exclusivity and the access one. This approach is really just talking about like, hey, this actually opens the space for me to give you higher level coaching. Because when we're doing one-on-one adjustments, when you and I are just having one-on-one conversations, there's a lot I'm leaving off the table for you because we're just focusing on your immediate care. Versus we can actually put you in a better container. We can put you into a better program that's also going to let you to connect with peers who are walking down the same path. If you do these three ways, you can pick one of them, you can pick all of them. It's very easy for you to fill your first self-paced program with existing clients, for you to convert either existing one-on-one members or maybe people who have worked with you in the past into a group model, and you don't have to worry about filling up anything else. The reason why I recommend everyone start with transitioning your current one-on-one clients is because most people who do this at the beginning have a hard time filling this because they're like, well, where do I find these people? This is the very introductory. If you are someone who has never done this or you're looking into one of these models, do this first, transition people who are already working with you because it will give you back your time and that will let you market more, that'll let you promote more, that'll let you nurture more, which is going to get you more clients. Even if you end up filling their one-on-one spots, it's still a win because now you've got more time, more people, and more revenue, and you're serving people in a better way. Now, once you've transitioned the current one-on-one clients, this is where we go into more advanced things. This is what's next after you get your one-on-one clients to convert over. The first is you go to your nurture. Go to your warm leads. Reach back out to your past clients. Look at people who have registered for your seminars, registered for master classes, attended live sessions of yours. Go to your email list and go to consultations not closed and offer them the same thing. Offer them the self-led program. Offer them the group. Offer them the hybrid option because you didn't have that before. So to the people who are going to want that, to the people who it's going to be for them, they're going to be fired up and they're going to say hell yes to that. That's a very easy way, and I call this low-hanging fruit, for you to be able to fill these things very quickly. Just to show of hands or drop in the chat or raise your hand, because I've got some people on Facebook link too. How many of you have a list of more than 500 emails? I know I do. I've got 40, I think it's like 4860 right now I've got in my email chat. My email list, right? If you look at that and you're saying to yourself, okay, out of these people, maybe 20% of them said no. Maybe another 20% of those people are past clients. Okay, cool. Well, if you reach back out to those people and you have a new offer, there's a very easy way to convert people and you can get quick wins and fast cash right there. It's a very easy way to build recurring revenue, so you don't have to look too hard. Then the next thing is once you've done the nurture, then we go to organic. Only then do we start pushing this on social media. You start doing stories and posts about your new program or the new model you have. You start doing collabs, which is you reach out to other professionals. So if you're a physiotherapist, reach out to a chiropractor because your program can benefit their clients. If you're a nutritionist, reach out to a naturopath because your program can benefit their clients. And do a collab where maybe they can even be a part of the program and do some trainings. And then run master classes and seminars or series like the series I'm doing right now to provide value. Because when you provide value up front, then when you say, hey, if you want to work on this more, I actually have a program for this, people are open because they see the value up front and they know exactly what's going on. Once you have your one-on-one people moved over, you've reached out to your nurturer and you're regularly reaching out to your nurture list and you're going to your warm leads, you're doing stuff on social media. At this point, this is where you're hitting consistent 30K months. Only then do you start running ads. Don't make the mistake of putting ads into this yet because you don't know if the program is something that they need. Have people go through it, have it be tried, tested, and true. Sell it outside of ads because all ads is a more effective organic reach. If your people are not buying the program or the model or the offer organically, they will never buy it in ads. But if you're at the point like some of the coaches are who have registered for this and you're hovering around that 30K a month and you're like, okay, cool, I can run a model, I can fill it with 50 people, 100% run ads to it. That's very easy. Do a 2 to 4 week push. You can run it evergreen as well, where it's just bringing a steady amount of leads to the program. So think of the 30-day craving one, that the naturopath that I shared earlier, and then run retargeting ads. If people are looking at it, target them again, and that's an easy way for you to be able to sign up and fill this. So to sum up day 2 here, your method delivered at scale equals more results. The way that you're going to be able to fully maximize your impact as a practitioner is you have to package what you're doing in one-on-one and you have to deliver it to more people. Because I promise you, even just today, whatever clients you spoke to today, there's at least one client in the day where you left that session and you were like, man, I delivered straight gold to them. And I wish that other people would have heard what I told them. Package that. Deliver that at scale. That's going to give your clients more results because it's going to be able to allow you to change more people's lives at the same time. And it's also going to really impact your bottom line because it's going to help with your recurring revenue. It's going to help with your client retention, and it's going to give people more options for them to join your world and for them to stay in your world. So as we finish off the training for today, I want you to give yourself a mental or a written self-check. Where are you right now inside of your business? Are you capping your income because every client equals more hours? Do you have a method that you can package into repeatable steps? Is there a process? Is there a rehabilitation program? Is there some type of an initial nutrition step-by-step guide? Is there something that you can package together that you know works well and works effectively that your clients need to either continue their care, prepare for their care, or enhance their one-on-one experience? And then the final question, what would you change, or what would change if you helped 20 people at once instead of one? What would change for you if you were to able to get that 25 hours or 20 hours back on your time? It's important for you guys to recognize where you are because in day 1, we talked about the fixer versus the founder mindset. Looking through the founder mindset means that you always have to be the visionary of your business. It's ultimately about the business serving you, then serving your clients, then serving the world. And the way that I mean that is it serves you, which frees up your time so you can continue to give more to the universe. You want to give more of your energy to your friends, to your family. You want to be able to do retreats. You want to be able to host events. You want to be able to speak on stage, to write a book, To do what you want and to live your own life is being the CEO of your life, not just your business. And then, of course, it's delivering to them. If you are stuck working one-on-one with someone in back-to-back sessions, every hour that you are speaking to one person is an hour that you are not speaking to someone else. And this is why these models and these other ways of doing business is very important as a health practitioner, because you want to be able to help as many people as possible. So it's actually not wise for you to work one-on-one with someone, and while you're an hour with someone, you're not an hour with the other person who also needs help. And then the final thing is changing the world. When you have a business that sustains itself and that allows you to work with multiple people at once, you're no longer making reactive decisions. This is where your business can do things like volunteer sessions. This is where you can guest speak. This is where you can start donating to charities. This is where you can start secondary businesses or do other initiatives using the money from your business. A great example is I'm writing a book right now about men's depression. It has nothing to do with my business right now, but it is something that I can contribute and give back to the world because my business allows me the space to do that. And by doing that, I contribute to the world and to the universe and to that energy in more ways than just working one-on-one with someone. So ask yourself, where are you now? And this is the official end. Yay, of day 2. We have completed the day 2 session. And of course, tomorrow we're going to be going through the actual Overflow offer stack. So today we went through, here's how you can transition from one-on-one to group and the models to do that. Day 3 is going to be like, how do we sell this? How do we put this into a product and service suite design so it makes sense? So one-on-one also fits somewhere in your business. And then of course, we're going to go into the back-end CEO systems and then the activation plan at the end. So we've successfully completed day 2. So as we go through this process, day 3 is really where we're going to go into the full breakdown. When we go into the Overflow offer stack, I want you to keep in mind as to how many offers or what your current process of offerings is for your client base. Because when we go into day 3, I'm going to walk you through what a typical offer stack looks like, all the things that you can add into an offer stack, and then how to design it. So there's going to be a lot of information through this. So I encourage you guys to watch the replays as well if you need them. Otherwise, thank you all for either attending live or for watching the replay. Stay tuned for day 3 tomorrow, and we will see y'all on the next training. Thanks for hopping on. We'll catch you guys later. Bye.